Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and our whatever report where we just, I was going to say something else. I forgot what show I was even on. Where I just talk about whatever. I actually do have a bit of an agenda tonight. Yes, hello Harley. So, which is very strange for me, but I actually do have a few things that I actually want to talk about tonight. So we will get into those here in just a second. Let's see who is hanging out with us already. We had Unruly hanging out, tailgating. What's going on, Unruly? Louie, what's going on? Big Will had arrived right before we started. The cat is very vocal all of a sudden. So yeah, Luis, what's going on, my friend? Mojo, John, what is happening? So welcome everyone. Kachung and Delphia, what's going on? Appreciate you guys stopping by. Deep House, thank you for joining me for a little bit here on a Sunday evening. I always appreciate you guys hanging out with me when, I'm going to say stuff that you don't necessarily know. Well, I got back today. Like I was gone. We did a family thing kind of early for Friday, Saturday. So yeah, I am back. I haven't even looked at this week's top 10s. Either one of them. I didn't even look at them. I didn't get back till about lunchtime today. I went and saw Black Widow, which I will talk about later. Mostly non-spoiler, but I'll put up the warning just in case I say something that's kind of spoilery. Name honor for Stray Dogs. That was an A-okay for my really Big Will, so I will not be moving that along just that quick. But yeah, pretty cool that he sent me that. And then we got the Something's Killing the Children news this week too. So yeah, I owe Unruly for those two books. Go back and watch that unboxing from, was that Tuesday? My days are running together at this point. So yeah. All right, so I have, let's see, we got, I did get to my comic shop this week. I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about that here in a minute because I'm no longer going to have one. We'll get into that after I show some stuff. I had a couple things come in that I had ordered, an eBay thing, an Inside Trades thing. So we got some stuff to show. So let's just get into it. We'll show some books. X11, what is going on? Greetings, yes, greetings, Earthlings and aliens. Hey, if some aliens want to watch my shows, hire to them. Hit the thumbs up. So there you go. All right, so let's see. Apparently I put the eBay stuff away, so I'll have to dig that back out here in a second. So 2 weeks worth of new comics. Not very much. The only one I've read from this week, I've read hardly anything from. My stack just keeps getting deeper. I am so far behind on my reading. Hopefully I can start catching up this week. I'm hoping. Only one I've read is Black Widow. I have been digging this series a lot. It continues to be good. This was another good issue, another solid issue. I've not read High Republic. I actually don't think I've read the last High Republic. So I got some catching up to do on High Republic. ASM, which, yeah, Spencer's going off. Wonder Girl, I really enjoyed the first one, so I did grab the second one just because. I do enjoy this Joelle Jones cover. And then Batman. That was it. That's 2 weeks for the books. That's like a record or something for me. So yeah, that is pretty limited. I'm going to grab my eBay thing that came in that I was a little worried about. Where's that? So this was a turn and burn potentially. So Send and Slab, whenever they finally bring him to the live action, I did grab the action figure variant for Thrawn #1. So this is probably going to CGC at some point. I don't know. Very nice, very nice. Oh yeah, good riddance to Spencer for sure. Don't know if I'll send this in my next CG submission or wait for another one, but yeah. We'll talk about that when I talk about Black Widow later. I'll talk about that series then because it'll send me down the movie thing, and I don't want to do the spoilers for the movie just yet, so people can hang out who haven't seen it yet. So yeah, so Thrawn was my little eBay pickup, and then I had an order come in from In Stock Trades. So I'm going to show those off real quick. This last week we did Southern Bastards Volumes 1 and 2. 3 and 4 arrived. I'd already ordered those. 3 and 4 arrived. So looking forward to digging into this sometime in early August with Lady F, Bearded, and No Good Comics. I always have trouble with one. It's a different one almost every time. It's going to be on my show. If you did not watch that and you've read this, because we do, it's all pure spoilers, but I thought the show was fantastic, and we went down some rabbit holes, but I thought it was all really fantastic. Lady Fantastic, especially. So, yeah, looking forward to digging into Volumes 3 and 4 when that time comes up. Not really, but I just grabbed it. It was a good price. I grabbed it. I figure it's got shot at 9.8, and it'll, it's not one I'm going to keep. It's when I bought the turn, when he appears in live action Star Wars. So, I went ahead and grabbed volumes 2 and 3 of Die. Obviously, I've been reading this all along. I grabbed these volumes. I'm going to start Die here sometime on the indie show. I'm looking for people, anybody interested in that, hit me up. Got Tacoma's going to be on it. I don't know who else I'm going to be on. I'd like to have at least one person who has not been reading it along, but it would be new to. But we will see where we go with that. So those are some of the trades I picked up. One of the vote winners... yeah, I had a blast on that indie show on Tuesday. That was one of the better ones. I don't know. I like a lot of them, but that one I thought was really cool and fun. Yeah, cool for that are cool, not random. Yeah, exactly. Sorry. One of the vote winners from when I had the vote for things to do in season 2 of the indie show, which I'm going to start also as soon as I wrap up a couple things. So this fall, probably going to start this, is Lock and Key. So we got all 6 volumes of Lock and Key. Came in this nice, I think it was like a holiday collector thing. I don't know. It includes complete paperback collection, Lock and Key. It was a pretty decent price. Got this. This is an in-stock trades order. They're back. They appear to be back to staying on top of things, which is nice. So the order came in pretty quick for them, like more typical. And yeah, so they appear to have some supply back in. Speaking of which, a few weeks ago I complained that I could not find volume 7 of the Invincible Ultimate Collection hardcovers. Well, they got them back in. They got 7, and you cannot see 8 at all. So I went on and grabbed 7 and 8. They actually had 9, 10, 11, and 12, but I was a little rich to grab those just yet. So I'm going to have to wait. I will. So they appear to have the whole series still, though, in this version. So I was glad to go on and grab those next 2. So I'm a little further along on that, 2/3 of the way with that hardcover. And then as a reminder, we're talking volume 3 of that, which is issues 25 through 35 this Tuesday on the Indie Show. We are talking Invincible. So that I have coming up this week. That's the only thing I for sure have planned. I will probably do a final CGC submission this week. I talked about it, I know, last week on this show. Probably mostly going to be those books, but I need to look. I'm going to do one final check through and do that. So that I have coming up this week. Yeah. So I just flew through that in like 10 minutes, but so yeah, those are the things added this week. Yeah, I thought it was kind of a cool. I saw that Lock and Key, and I was like, well, I'm going to grab them all anyway. It was actually cheaper than grabbing the individual trades to just buy the set. So I just jumped on that. So was super happy to go on and add that and have the whole thing taken care of and ready whenever we start digging into this. I don't have a crew yet for this either. I don't think I have anybody's name written down for that yet. So we'll start having to do that. Probably will be like September-ish before I get that started. They have $150 already of my money, Big Will. I'm sending them some more books. It's going to be 22. It'll be obviously CBCS would be a little quicker. But honestly, most of that order, as I talked about last week, are Thor books. that I just need back before Love and Thunder next May. So as long as I get them out here in the next, well, I'm hoping to send them to Jimmy to be pressed this week. Actually, they're going out this week, one way or the other. I aimed to get them out last week and it just didn't happen, but they're going out this week. He's saying a month-ish, so he should have them to CGC by the 1st of September, which means I'm looking at probably like February, March, but that still gets them before Love and Thunder, which is the main thing I need. I thought about splitting it and sending part of them to CBCS and part of them to CGC. I have not made a final decision on that, but yeah, they have $150. I have a membership that's already paid for. I'm going to use my credit. If nothing else, I'm using at least the credit. So there you go. Get them back in 6 to 8 weeks if you do a signature. Yeah. I don't think they're doing any signings for anybody that I'm interested in that would be appropriate for those books, but that's okay. But yeah, I know it's going to be 2022. It's just what it is right now. I mean, even CBCS is going to be like December. It's a little faster, but it's not going to be a ton faster. So according to the days, if the days are right, if they got there September 1st, it should be based on around the current turnaround time. Then I added like 2 weeks. It was like early to mid-February when I did the math on the days. So I went on and added like 2 extra weeks, and it was still mid-February. So we'll see. They may be even further behind by then. Who knows? I keep hoping they'll start to catch up. But yeah, I added. That was September 1st getting there, plus 2 weeks to their current claim turnaround time was mid-February. I don't know. I counted the days. I don't remember exactly what it was, but the 100 and some odd days, and then yeah. So September, October, November, December, January, mid-February. There you go. So anyway, so those are the things I picked up this week. But I also got some terrible friggin' news this week. Well, not terrible. It's what it is. My comic shop, my LCS, which my closest LCS was 40 to 45 minutes from me. That's the closest I'd had one the entire time I've lived here. It's one of the reasons I got out of comics when I got out of school and got this job and moved here, like, because there was nothing close. No. Oh, well, they'll definitely go through. Yeah, they'll go through KC. Yeah, I'm fine with waiting. It's not a big deal. And then anyway, had the sharp. So I found them right after they opened, right as I was getting back into comics, and they've been a good shop in terms of new books. Their back issues and wall books have always needed some work. They've been slowly getting better. They've been slowly getting better with those, but they never had a ton of really high quality stuff. But they had a lot of new books. They had a decent selection of indies. They didn't have high numbers. They didn't necessarily get incentives. They got a lot of it. They got like everything, but they didn't get like high numbers. So it was hard to get incentive covers from them. But I didn't need to be spending money on incentives anyway. They're closing. And they're closing because the owner just got tired of doing it. It's basically the only thing I can say. I mean, appears to be the explanation. Is it just wore him out? I think the COVID, I think everything just wore him out. And so he's not doing it. He's not going to do it anymore. I think he tried to maybe look for somebody to buy it. I don't think he looked very hard, I'll be honest. Because it went from, I went in mid-June, talked to him, and he was talking about things they had coming up and everything else. And then like a week plus later, I saw him post that he was trying to sell it, that he was walking away from it. And then 2 weeks after that, we got an email saying closing doors August 1st. So I'm in the lookout for lack of a better term, an online LCS. If I'm going to keep doing new books, I definitely think it's a time to reevaluate. No. There's one that I've actually never even been in because whenever I go that way, I just have never had time to stop, and circumstances will not allow me to stop. There's one about an hour that direction, and I just don't go that way very often or have reason to, and I've never even been in there. And yeah, the sad thing is I went in there and looked pretty hard, and really, I dug through all the back issues anyway. There wasn't really anything I really wanted. I'm going to make another trip, obviously, before it closes. And then they had a couple books that were in their little case that I looked at previously, and they were so overpriced. Like, the grade they had them at, you could buy slabs of that grade for around that price to less than the price they had these two raw books that they had graded that in the case. Raw books in that grade were going for half to a third that price. So like I talked to her about the lady that was working in, not the owner, but the lady was working in, and she offered me like basically actual value for them was the deal. The deal was this massive deal, and it was like actual value. So I didn't pull the trigger. Like those, I don't know why. Like they've been really weird. Like some of their wall books, they've always been so overpriced on. Like they're actually like they graded it like a 7, and they try to sell it for a slab 7 price, and it's like that's not how it works. I'm not paying that. And then other times I found really good deals on their wall. So it's very odd sometimes the way they price things. If you know of a good shop, Unruly, yeah. I mean, what I did today was, I went on just so I didn't have to like rush, like because, like basically end of the month. So FOC tomorrow would be for books that I no longer have ordered for August from my shop. They won't be getting them. I'm not sure what the deal. I think I'm going to get my books for the last week of July. Not 100% certain. From that week, and there's several books that come out that week. Well, I only go once a month or 2 months. Like I was going about every 2 to 3 weeks because of the distance. And this shop was really good about me not worrying about it because they knew I would come. They weren't worried about me like not buying immediately, not paying immediately. What I did do like today is I made a Midtown order for like August stuff. They do their little pull list thing. I just did a Midtown order. I was like, okay, like in their pull list, you can cancel up to like the Friday before the books come out. As long as you have 10, like when you do the last order, I figured that'd get me through August, and then I could figure out something for like September. Because technically you can still do previews orders for September and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, Midtown is what I'm going to use for August. I don't know that I'll continue with Midtown. I would prefer like more of a true LCS local shop to get my stuff through. Like if somebody has a really good LCS that they know ships and like offers decent rates on their books, then yeah, I think they do a huge discount if you do like true previews pre-ordering. Like their pull list thing gives you a little bit, basically a 50-cent discount is like on $4. I don't know what the percentage works out to that. Like if it's a $4 book, it's like $3.50. If it's a $5 book, it's a $4.50 or whatever. So a little bit of we'll still get a little bit of a discount on those books, but nothing major. Midtown's okay. Atomic Empire is pretty good, and they do a sliding discount depending on how many books you get. I use TFAW, and then a combination of the online stores for any books I missed on FOC. I use them every month. I have not looked at my comic shop yet. I am in Missouri, so yeah. Haven does. Josh will ship to you. So yeah. So if anybody's got some recommendations, I should probably be writing these down. Maybe message them to me on like of a true LCS that I can kind of look into a little bit. yeah, if you'll send me a message or something, I would be super appreciative. Don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, for now, I think August, I think I will do the Midtown route. I got them shipping bi-weekly. I think Russ's shop, I think Mail Geek does ship free baggage and boards. That's always an advantage. Yeah, I've looked at my comic shop for older stuff. I've never looked at them for new stuff. Oh, he's in Green Valley. Nice. So you're actually close. Like I'm south of Kansas City. Clinton is where I'm at. So yeah. So then you'll probably be at maybe be at Planet RN. So we'll maybe see each other. Yeah, that's what Midtown does. You could do weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. And then if you order any books during the month, they hold and ship it with your pull list. Yep. I'm like 2 hours from Lebanon. I'm on Truman Lake. So I'm like halfway between Kansas City and Springfield. If you go down like 71, 7, 13 towards Springfield. Yeah. Comic Hub. See, mine used previews. It used previews pull box is what I used to like order everything, which was great. Blue Springs, I use A to Z Comics. I don't think I've ever. That's in Blue Springs. I don't know that I've seen them on the list. Like the one I was going to was Phoenix Comics. They're in Peculiar. And then I was going. I go to Elite sometimes just because they're on the south side, and then it's like Bebop and what was the one? There's another one kind of on that south end. They're the ones I usually go to. I don't think I've been to A to Z. Things from Another World. What I like about Things from Another World. If you can manage your pre-order up to FOC, and they only charge one book ships. That's nice. No. It's not that Springfield. Don't you remember? Grandpa Simpson was like, I'll be long in the cold, cold ground before I acknowledge Missouri. So it's not the right Springfield. Yeah. A to Z. Okay. I will have to see if I can find that one. I will have to, because that's close enough that, I mean, Blue Springs is a ways, but that's close enough that I probably need to make a trip to just see what they're about anyway. So A to Z Comics in Blue Springs, which would be about probably just over an hour, depending on exactly where it's at up there. Hour and 15 probably for me, hour and 20 maybe. Just depends. Back in Time and Liberty. Okay, that's on the north. Yeah, some of those ones on the north side, I've just never made the trip. I should, or not even on the north, but like not on the south end. Back in Time. Yeah, Liberty. Okay. Oh, those ever came up on my searches. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, my sister, where she lives, she has a LCS in like a 2-minute walk, which is how I got started anyway. So I'm dealing with that. So it looks like RN's give me a couple of good options maybe to check out up next time I head up to Kansas City. So we'll definitely do that. And then, yeah, I'll look into these. Like I said, for now, I'm going to do Midtown for at least a month. And then, yeah, if people have some options, they can send me on Instagram, JP_collects on Instagram. Want to send me a message with some options. Back in Time does not do new books. So they're kind of like Bebop then, because they're just mainly older stuff, which I've never been super impressed with them. But even like their old stuff, I've never been very impressed with their choices. But awesome. Cool. Thank you for mentioning that. So definitely we'll look into that. All right. So that's... I hope so. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that they do something. Pop culture. That's the one. Yeah. Pulp culture. Sorry. I have been to pulp culture. That's the one I couldn't remember. That's, yeah, they're in Overland Park too. They're north of, not too far north, but they're up there just a little bit further north. I have been to pulp culture. And then I've been to, what's the one down on the plaza? Clint's or, can't remember. But I don't get up there very often. But yeah, I do. Pulp Culture was good. I've never, like, the guys in Elite have never been very friendly, so that's kind of just turned me off. Okay, if you set up a pull list, which means you have to have 10 books, so you're pulling those, which is what I did. But you can cancel at any time up to the Friday before. You can cancel a title anytime up to the Friday, or add up to the Friday before release, if they have it, because it's Midtown. They have almost everything. Yeah, see, I don't like that either. I stop in Elite a few times. I just know, like, I've found some decent deals in their back issue bins, but I've bought very little from them over the years. Like, basically, I went up there for like a free comic book day a couple times, and dug through like their dollar bins, and I've done some other stuff, but I don't buy new books from them, no. I have bought a couple trades from them over the years just because they have a decent trade selection, which is rare around here, but anymore I do most of my trades through in stock. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Elite. They're not super friendly. They mark up their new books day of. That crap just drives me nuts. So yeah. So I was definitely not going to use them for my books to pull books from. So, but maybe some of these others, at least A to Z, Pulp I've been into. I should check out. I should see what they do at least. But the problem is, at that point, I'm still shipping. So, like, at that point, I can go anywhere because Pulp is like an hour and 20 minutes, which is a big difference. You're talking 3 hours of driving, let alone, like before, hour and a half of driving. Okay, an hour and a half just to get there. That's a big difference on trying to get there. Oh, you mean the books? Yeah, the art hasn't changed for quite some time. These pieces have been up here for a while because I don't have that many pieces. But yeah, the books I change all the time. So, or every couple of weeks, I should say. But yeah. All right. 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes in. I'm going to do a quick recap of what I picked up. And then let's go into, I'm going to do Black Widow discussion before I do Loki, which means I shouldn't mess with my banner. Let's do edit that one because I didn't actually edit it. So I'm going to edit a banner real quick. So I'll be ready. Whoa. Here in a second. So should have done that beforehand, but I didn't. All right. So, okay. Let's save that, and I'll put that up in just a second. So, in-stock trades, 7 and 8 of the hardcovers of Invincible. So, I think there's 12, I believe. So, that gets me 2/3 of the way through the series. That gets me through what? Issue 96 of 144, I think. So, that's awesome to grab that. I grabbed the entire run. Volumes 1 through 6 of Lock and Key, for doing that on the indie show sometime this fall. I grabbed volumes 2 and 3 of Die, so I don't have to reread my issues. I can read the trades. So that gets me all of those. I should leave the comments up. No problem. I haven't started yet. There you go. Nice. Hey, Phil, what's going on? So, and then I picked up Southern Bastards volumes 3 and 4, which means I have most of what I'm going to need now, trades for season 2 of the indie show. There's a few things I'm going to get like that aren't out yet, like Descender volume 4. And at some point, Monsters is supposed to be out this fall. So we'll redo a Monster show to catch up on that. And then we'll, I think there's going to be another volume of Something Killing Children out before I'm finished with season 2 and that kind of stuff. So, you found your LCS on YouTube? Nice. I did go to the theater today. So, yeah, let's transit. Oh, and then new books that I picked up, and we'll end with that, and then we'll talk Black Widow. Batman, Wonder Girl. This is 2 weeks worth, so this was pretty good. There's only 5. Spider-Man, High Republic, and Black Widow number 8. This is the only one I've read so far. I've really enjoyed this series. So before we get into the movie talk, just real quick, Black Widow, I never have read much Avengers over the years. I don't know anything really about Black Widow. I mean, I knew the basics, but I never really read Black Widow stories. So ScarJo, and that has been my main introduction to Black Widow in the MCU. I've always felt they've kind of I haven't been super pleased. I felt like it's been very inconsistent, the portrayal of her. I grabbed the series mainly because Adam Hughes, J. Scott Campbell were doing the early covers to the early issues. Hughes is still doing them, and they're fire. And I'd read it, and it would bring me back to the next one, and bring me back to the next one the whole time. And Yelena, who I had never read anything of before this series, has been really good in this series. I've really enjoyed her portrayal. So that's kind of my going into this. So let me put my banner up here. Because I'm not going to talk a ton of spoilers, probably, honestly. I'm probably just going to give my general impressions. But just fair warning, I'm talking about it. Some people don't want anything. So I went saw today in the theater, which was awesome. Hey, Southern, what's going on? And I really enjoyed it. It was a little bittersweet for me because I felt like over the years, she has not been... I felt like they've underdeveloped her as a character. I feel like that Scarlet has gotten less, and Black Widow, Natasha, has gotten less development and focus than she deserved. I feel like she's been in I think I did the math, 7 Marvel movies, the 4 Avengers movies, Iron Man 2, the 2 Captain America movies, Winter Soldier, I think, and then her movie. So 7 movies, 8 movies, 4 Iron Man, 2 Captain Americas, her movies. So 8 movies. 96 words, yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute. And yeah, camel covers were great as well. And I felt like, I thought her portrayal in Iron Man 2 was not great, but that movie was not great. I felt like she was underutilized there for an introduction. I really enjoyed her in Avengers. I loved her performance in Winter Soldier. Her and I think her and Chris Evans just have really good chemistry. And I loved her performance in Winter Soldier. I despise some of the stuff they did with her in Ultron. I thought some of that was just, was not good. The whole, I'm a monster because I can't have children. What? Some of that was just bad. I really enjoyed her in Civil War. Even though she doesn't give it a ton to do, I thought her role was really good. I wish this movie had come out. Obviously, there's some scenes in it that they would have had to have gotten rid of because Infinity War and stuff wasn't out yet. But I wish this movie had come out on time, between Civil War and Infinity War. Infinity War was good. I wasn't necessarily happy with how it ended in Endgame. And the way they treated her after she died, I thought was just, But I'm trying to keep paying it. But also, Taskmaster, well, I enjoyed it a lot. So I'll get to Taskmaster in a minute. But I thought this movie was really good. I love that they finally gave her a chance to really spend time with Natasha and who she is. I loved some of the quiet moments. I thought some of the fights were great, but I loved the quiet moments. I loved her sitting in the trailer watching Bond and repeating the lines and or having the lines memorized and just some of that Florence Pugh as Yelena, character I cared nothing about before I read any of this. Makes me regret that I didn't jump on Inhumans because I was I don't care about that character. Man, she was awesome. I thought she was great. their interactions, their conversations for me were my favorite part of this movie. The two of them were their chemistry. I thought that was fantastic. I have some high hopes for Elaine, for Florence and Elena going forward. The Taskmaster thing. Freely admit, never been a huge Taskmaster guy. Don't really care. I know some people like, and I feel like, here's the thing I feel about the Taskmaster, is I felt like nobody, like, okay, that's not true. Taskmaster had fans. But I feel like most people didn't care about Taskmaster until he was going to be in the movie. And then, because that book was worth nothing. And then suddenly that book was worth a bunch. And I think most of the people bitching about the reveal are people who bought the book for too high prices that it's not going to be worth now because it's not really that version. I thought it was fine. I thought it worked for the story. Could it have been a generic, different character in terms of a different name and not the Taskmaster name? Probably. But it didn't bother me at all. It didn't take me out. I have no attachment to Taskmaster. So for me, it worked. I'll probably in the minority on that, but it did not bother me at all. It was supposed to be a Elena movie. Well, I'm thinking about it. To me, it was the two of them. Clearly, it was a goodbye to Natasha, a hello to Elena to set her up going forward. I still regret that it's a goodbye to Natasha. I would love to spend more time. I would love to see Scarlett spend more time in that character, but that's just me. Yeah. I should have clicked on that because, yeah, that's a little bit of a spoiler, but I am talking some spoilers. Things I didn't like, which was not the Taskmaster thing. For me, I heard a bunch of people talking before I got to see it because I didn't get to it till today. And I try to verbosely avoid spoilers, but a few non-spoiler things. I heard people saying they loved Red Guardian. Like, I don't know. He was annoying. It was sort of on purpose. He was kind of like an idiot a little bit, coming off as kind of an idiot. I get that was on purpose, but for me, it like went just across the line at times. Like it took me out that it was just a little too goofy, a little too annoying, a little too far. It didn't work for me. Yeah. That whole interaction, I love that interaction. And then when she does it at the end, she's like, ew. And like, oh my God, I love that. But yeah, so Red Guardian was for me. But Yelena and Natasha were fantastic. Their dynamic was fantastic. The Red Room stuff, I thought was the whole storyline, the mind control, all of that I thought worked really well. Maybe a few of the mechanisms were a little weird, but I thought most of it worked pretty well. Again, the Taskmaster thing didn't bother me. So where I would rate it, right now I'm leaning like 8.5-ish out of 10. So, I need to see it again. I usually try to watch these things again. I'm not sure where I would put it in the MCU. I think it's probably upper half, probably toward the bottom of the upper half. Really solid. Not necessarily like top tier, but really solid. I don't know. Some of the movies, it's been a long time since I've seen. I keep wanting to rewatch. I started a chronological rewatch about a year ago, this time of year, like in July, and I got through Avengers 1, and then I didn't go any further. Yeah, I wish we could have another one. I would love to have more. Well, it's not showing on it. Here's the thing. It's not showing on that subscription service yet. It will in like 6 months if you're willing to wait. Yeah, it's showing in movie theaters. And it's probably going to be the only one they do that for because they've already said Shang-Chi is going, you're not getting access to, like early. They did that because they didn't know they finally gave up. They didn't know what COVID was going to do. So they were trying to get in the theaters. The fact that it made $80 million, I will say though, the fact that it made 60 on the streaming service, you got to figure that cost them some money, but it also maybe like, where's the balance between what it cost them, like multiple tickets, like whole households that would have bought tickets versus maybe households that wouldn't have gone. I think that may happen more often than not. I do think, yeah. I mean, I paid $21 for the movie and popcorn and a drink to go see it once. You pay $30 on the subscription service, you can see it as much as you want. So, yeah. But that's just me. I mean, I think, yeah, it's like October or November. It's going to be on Disney Plus. So yeah, they're just giving you early access for $30 to be able to watch it basically unlimitedly. So I may actually do that just to watch it again rather than go back to the theater. We'll see. Hey Lois, what's going on? So those are my thoughts. I'm not giving a ton of spoilers here, like on details. I thought it worked. I enjoyed it a lot. The Taskmaster stuff didn't bother me at all. I felt like most of the complaints I've heard about that have been, I don't know. It didn't bother me at all. Red Guardian to me was more disappointing than that, just because I just thought they took some of that too far. But Yelena and Natasha were fantastic. I thought ScarJo did a great job. I thought Florence Pugh was awesome. Their interaction was clearly the best part of the movie for me. Oh, I just did so today I did the popcorn and drink because it had just been so long since I'd been to a movie. I'm like, I'm getting popcorn, I'm going to drink. I hadn't been to a movie in over a year. So I don't normally I just normally I just go. But I had to do the popcorn today. I had to do the full experience today. I feel like a little bit of that, though, is that she's new. Like, this is just my personal thought, Thunderhouse. I thought she was fantastic. But I felt like a little bit of that was she was new. We hadn't seen her before. We'd seen Natasha before. We had seen some of that from Scarlett. Not enough of it, in my opinion. But I thought she did a fantastic job. And I think their interaction, like I said, for me, was the whole movie. Which, yeah, Florence Pugh, I thought she did an excellent job. It was really good. But I do think her stealing the show had as much to do with her being new and fresh and not seeing her before as it did anything else. I will say she steals the show in some of this too, and this book is like really good, Natasha book, but this Yelena steals the show in here a lot too, and so I think that's just the character a little bit. Yeah, they had a really good weekend. Nice. I don't know. I think at some point we may see her as Natasha again, but I don't think we're ever going to get another like big dominant role. Like we're not going to get to see like them really delve into the character again, and that disappoints me. There you go. Yeah, I think it's going to be a show. My guess is Thunderbolts is a show. I feel like they're really setting that up on Disney Plus. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Oh, the Mephisto stuff. I know. Yeah, the red was going to be Red Hulk. Yeah. People leap at all these random stuff. Okay, I need to get out of here because I got to be over on Big Will's channel in like 15 minutes. Well, 20 minutes to play D&D because we usually start about 5 after. So, real quick, Loki. I'm not going to go into this hardly at all. I've been mostly disappointed by the show. It's clearly been my third best choice. I did think episode 5 was better. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, but it's not. This has not been great. To me, it has been the third of the 3 shows so far. We'll see. Maybe they knock the finale out of the park, but it's been a clear third for me so far. So there's no real spoilers there, but yeah. So, okay. Real quick, coming up this week, Tuesday night, Invincible. Volume 3. Gonna be on Big Will's channel here in 20 minutes to play D&D. We got probably like finalize my CGC submission this week. Probably do a video on that. See, Louis likes it more. So there you go. Maybe that's an interesting thought. That he has some secret adventures. We'll see. I don't know. We know he's been cast. This is the difference between that and Mephisto, is we know Kang has been cast for Quantum Mania. So it would not surprise me to see Kang, especially the way they set this up. It also wouldn't surprise me that the person behind all this is another Loki variant or something. But so that's my only thing there. Is I think there's a stronger chance of Kang than there was of Mephisto. But this has been solid so far. There has not been the huge reveals on Disney Plus. So we'll see. No, that was pretty good. So yeah, got a bunch of stuff coming up. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm going to get out of here because I need to take the dog out and do a couple things before I hop over on Big Will's channel. But thanks, guys. Enjoyed hanging out. I enjoyed 2 thumbs up for Black Widow. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it yet, and yeah, looking for an LCS. So if you got suggestions, let me know. But online LCS at this point. But yeah. So yeah, have a good week, everyone. There you go.